Cavendish banana that we all love so much. The Fusarium wilt, they call it Panama disease, just tearing apart the Central American crop. And if something's not done, we're not going to have bananas in this hemisphere.
Nature needs help in this case. The banana as it exists today is being wiped out systematically across the globe. And there's nothing that the banana has, that current Cavendish banana has, that provides any defense to that onslaught of the disease. And we've seen it now across Asia and across the Middle East. All of a sudden, they no longer can produce those bananas. They're done. It rots from the inside out. Those trees are dead within a few years, and it stays in the soil. So you can't even go back into those lands. And so those farmers that are growing bananas in those plantations, they not only lose their livelihood with the banana plants, but they no longer can produce bananas on those crops in those fields. So what we did with the Cavendish is we started looking at all the distant relatives and uncles and aunts and cousins of the Cavendish banana that create really uninteresting bananas, but they have similar genes and similar genomics. And you'll find resistance in some of those cousins and uncles and aunts, distant relatives.
There are something like over 200 varieties of bananas. There's just not a whole lot that we like, or that we can eat, or that are good for us.
A lot of them aren't sweet, or they're full of little BBs that are seeds.
The horrible seeds, yeah.
Yeah,
they
really
just
interesting.
Taste awful.
What we found as we went looking at all of the distant relatives was, wow, there is some genes out there that make some of those plants resistant. They're not interesting commercially, or they taste terrible, but in the family, there's solutions.
In that same banana family, a plant that might not be edible or desirable on our table might have a characteristic. It's better able to resist disease. It's better able to resist Panama disease, Fusarium wilt.
That's exactly right.
So you've got to find the right one. That's the detective game. Then you got to mix and match.
And how do we then get that particular gene into the crop that matters to us?
Todd, how do you do that?
Well, that's where these labs come into play.
Aha!
You know, there's some interesting technology tools now. We call them gene editing, and it's some of the latest ways that we can go in and make very precise changes to introduce some of these traits into the crop.
Can we go take a closer look at what's going on in some of these labs?
Let's do that.
Let's do it.